come on in the room. Bucks win it tonight, 114-108 over the Sacramento Kings. Big time come from behind victory, down 14. You had the fan base crying, telling you it's over. Oh, that's all. Game's all. Worst loss in history. Oh, people in my DM. Oh, this is the worst loss of all time. Stop it. 114-108. It was a second half belt to ass. Second half masterclass. That's what it was. Giannis leading the way. It was great. I'm happy. 114-108. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. Writes all those scriptures. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. Cream City crossover. Bucks after dark. And it's good.
JT.
Chris King.
Justin.
Everybody's in the building. Whoa. Justin, you got a frog in your throat. Say that one time. Who's that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, damn.
We gonna do it.
Well, look, Justin, I'm glad you're married, man.
Hey,
I
it's like
what happened, sir. I'm guessing you're streaming at the TV.
I got a good joke. It's like he reads Doc's post game so much. It's leaking through. It's leaking through.
It's a Doc. Yeah, you said that's the Doc. We got Doc on the show tonight. Good stuff. But hey, guess what? He's here. He's showing up. Unlike Redacted. Didn't the Wizards play tonight? Anybody know the Wizards play tonight? Oh, damn. Out. Low man's injury. He was out again. Oh, damn. Sorry about it. Hey, let me tell you something. The guy we traded for, 14 points, 14 boards tonight. How about that? My bad. Let me not get started. Let me not get started. 114-108 Bucks win it tonight. Listen, guys, best abilities, availability. Kyle Kuzma was available to play. Gave 33 big minutes tonight. 114-108. Let's do a game recap. Giannis, 32-17. 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 12 of 20 from the field. 8 of 13 from the line. 2 turnovers tonight. I thought, it was a tale of two halves for Giannis. It really was. And again, I think there's a question, because there's a tweet out there where I said, if Giannis is hurt, because I've seen some people, one thing I hate on Twitter is when I live tweet the entire game. So when I say something an hour ago, to come back and then try to tell it was true an hour ago. I didn't say that you got to sit him, but an hour ago, I'm just giving my observations. An hour ago, Giannis looked like, again, I didn't know if he was hurt. I didn't know if he just wasn't giving the energy. I don't know what it was. But that first half, offensively and defensively, again, I've never seen Giannis miss as many dunks as he has this year, but this one was like uncontested, under the basket, nobody there, and just didn't go in the. I didn't understand it, and he came out in the second half and flipped the switch, and it was like the explosiveness was back, the burst was back, the want to was back, the defense was back. You saw a big blocking in the third quarter. Everything you wanted to see from Giannis from a superstar. You saw it. And it gives me, like JT was saying before the show, that kind of mentality of, if Giannis is going to come out for 40-plus minutes and lock in the playoffs, and Damian Lillard comes with them and locks in the playoffs, check ball. That check, roll it out, check ball. I'll take that against anybody in the NBA. Like, that was, like, Giannis, like, that second half, and in particular that third quarter where he had 22, I believe it was 32, that was, not only was it special, it was, you could put that performance up with, that is like, he's the best player in all of basketball. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, like, I will put what he did in that third quarter and second half up against anything they've done. That is how you play basketball. That is winning basketball. That is championship basketball. By the way, join us. Appreciate you if you're in here. Join us in the chat. We'll talk to the chat. Join us on the Twitter. Send me your comments at TCIESQ. We'll get to them. Brook Lopez tonight. Hell of a first half from him. 21-3-3. 21-3-2. 8 of 15. 3 of 6 from 3. Thought he did a really good job being under the basket, playing well. How about Taurean Prince at 15 points tonight? 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. 6 of 9, 3 of 4 from 3. 1 turnover. Ryan Rollins, shaky. No points, 2 boards, 4 assists. 0 of 4 from the field. And then Kyle Kuzma. in a game where, and this is insane, like, I mean, rebounding wise, the Bucks, they had 17 boards from Giannis, 14 rebounds from Kuzma. Nobody else had more than 3. I mean, the Bucks rebounding in the first half, you should have been embarrassed by how they rebounded in the first half. But 14 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists. Kuzma was 5 for 10, 1 of 3 from 3, a couple turnovers. I thought, again, this is Kyle Kuzma at his I don't say at his best, but somewhat at his best. I thought he played the best defense of any of the guys when he got matched up against DeRozan and when he got matched up against Zach LaVine when it took place. I thought there were great points in the second quarter where when Brook Lopez first went off the court and you had that grouping of Kuzma at the 4, guys at the 5, and you just saw the Bucks switch basically everything. That I liked what I saw. And then, of course, again, he's the only person outside of Giannis that even attempted to go get rebounds. Like, again, we know Bobby Portis is missing, but I asked the question, like, you could make the argument Kyle Kuzma was as important as any player not named Giannis tonight, because where do those rebounds come from? And you were getting killed on the glass in the first half. I know there's gonna be, it's still the Kuzma haters always out there. Where do those rebounds come from? I don't know. I really don't. And I'm not even like this. Like, no bias. I'm tell me who's getting 14 rebounds. Who's doing it? The only person who comes up close to getting rebounds like that is Bobby Portis, and he's not available. So, again, and none of them were fake either from Kuz. Gary Trent Jr., 11 points tonight, 3 steals, 4 of 11. He was 3 of 8 from 3. He was a plus 13 clutch. I mean, just absolutely clutch shots from Gary Trent Jr. all over the place. Kevin Porter Jr., the juniors were in effect, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists tonight, 8 of 10, plus 15. I mean, those guys were absolutely phenomenal tonight. AJ Green, you know they got a new nickname for AJ Green. Did you hear it? They call him Barely Bird. 3 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 of 5, 1 of 4 from 3. He was a plus 11. I think he gives the effort, but to be out there consistently, for me to trust you, for me to want you on that floor, you've got to hit the open threes. Like, that's what he's there for. He is here to hit open threes. And I mean, the Bucks, again, they win it. They end up winning it by 6. But there were points where you probably blow this thing open a couple times early in the fourth if AJ Green hits. I mean, and these are wide open threes that he's missing. And so, again, the question, do you let him shoot his way out of it and hope that over the course of the next, I believe the Bucks have 12, 13 games left? You hope that he shoots his way out of this and gets himself to a point where he's back to normal by the playoffs, or do you give up on him? I don't know. Or I don't say give up on him, or do you let him sit and let him watch and observe for a little bit? I don't know what the deal is. Pat Connaughton got some early minutes as well, did not score. On the other side of things, DeMar DeRozan, 22 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Keegan Murray, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. JV, Jonas Valanciunas, 18 points, 7 boards, 1 assist. Zach LaVine, 16, 7, and 5. Again, didn't everybody want to trade for Zach LaVine? Didn't I hear that it was a bad move? That, we should have traded for Zach LaVine instead of Kyle Kuzma. 16 points on 17 shots. Okay.
Missed 2 free throws in the clutch.
2 free throws in the clutch. Oh, okay.
That was crazy.
7 rebounds, 14 rebounds.
At that, too.
Okay. I'm just saying. Kyle Kuzma, he went up against Chris Middleton, belt the ass. Went up against Zach LaVine. I'm talking matchup-wise, belt the ass. I know it. I know it. He sucks. He's the worst player in the world. But damn it, when he go up against the people that he either was traded for or was talked about in trades with him, I don't know. Jimmy Butler did win the other night, though. Keon Ellis was really good tonight. 20 points, 9 boards, 6 assists. Really good. Solid player, 6 of 10 from the field. LaRavia had 11 points. Trey Lyles was 7 points. Markelle Fultz, I did not know he was still in the league. But he's still running around doing whatever the hell he does in the NBA. But so he didn't score either in 8 minutes. Yeah, I saw Jay Crowder, sorry ass over there on the bench. Oh, he didn't play either. Get your ass up out of here. 114, 108. I mean, last thoughts I'll give you before I let you take it away, JT. I think that, again, tale of two halves. This team, they look disinterested at times. And really, I'm talking about Giannis a lot too. I'm including him in there. I mean, the thing that was interesting about this game until the second half hit was that the Sacramento Kings were winning the Giannis minutes. And it's crazy. Giannis ends up as and that's why you can't use plus minus for anything. Giannis ends up as a -6, but like the King, but in that first half, the Kings really killed when Giannis was on the floor. And when he went off the floor, the Bucks made their runs. And in the third quarter, Giannis erased all of that. But even still, that was that fourth quarter that started without Giannis. That Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., Kuzma, and I don't know if it was Brook Lopez in with that group or what. But that group played really well, played exceptionally well, and kept the Bucks afloat, kept them out front. And they did exactly what they're supposed to do. Got the stops they needed, and got the scores that they needed. Now, I'll say this too. Deep rebounding. That second half, I don't know if it's Doc Rivers. I don't know if it was just the guys, had that internal fortitude themselves that made the decision, hey, we're not going to lose like this. But that first half on the boards was embarrassing. And the second half they came out and they were, it was much more one shot, and that was it for Sacramento. So that was huge. The rebounding, where you actually got the rebounds, were able to stop them, and you close it out. I mean, great. With how the Bucks got out rebounded, they closed it out. Sacramento had 44 rebounds. The Bucks had 42. So you finish out pretty even there. I'll say last thing, good win for the Bucks tonight. What did we say on the road trip? They needed 3, right? You got the win against the Lakers. What did we say? We said you need to get these 2, get Sacramento, get Phoenix, and find one more. You found one against the Lakers when they were resting guys. Now you went out and handled business against Sacramento. Go handle business against Phoenix. You'll guarantee yourselves at least 3 wins on the road trip. I will take that and call it a success. 114-108. That's what I saw. JT, what'd you see?
A lot of the same thing you saw, sir. And then tonight, this really was, again, the tale of two halves. Like to piggyback on that, they just looked disinterested. They looked discombobulated. The threes just were not falling in the first half. It just looked bad. And it was one of those nights where you kind of wondered, all right, are we gonna figure it out? Are we sleepy? Is it Bucks after dark for them too on the West Coast or what? Right? They waiting for BET Uncut to come on, or what's going on here? That's kind of what you were thinking when you first watched this thing. But that third quarter was an absolute masterclass from Giannis. I mean, Detroit said 22 points in it. The way he was getting buckets, how infectious that got, and how that just lifted this team. Sometimes when you're Giannis, right? Let me go ahead and borrow a saying from Jalen Milroe. You got to let a naysayer know, right? And this was your moment here in that third quarter where you let everybody know, you know what, I'm going to put this team on my back. Let me change the trajectory of this by myself. I'm going to have 22. The Sacramento Kings only scored 28 in the third quarter, so you really did almost single-handedly a one-man band absolutely shred that team. And just the way he was getting buckets, going coast to coast, hitting jumpers, getting done. I mean, it was inspiring. And my only thing about that is for the national writers and everybody else who votes on the MVP vote, I get SGA. I understand it. I get y'all. I understand it. But y'all ain't got a lot to kick it. Give this man 34 his props. Give 34 his, because he showed you that. He showed you what he means to this team. He showed you how good of a player he is. Man, really fortunate in that fourth quarter that these Bucks figured this thing out. When threes started falling in that fourth quarter, I think it went 5 for 7 for 3 in the fourth quarter. Thank goodness, because man, it was definitely a rough night. Gary Trent Jr. putting a blanking, couldn't hit a thing in the first half, but figured it out a little bit in the second half. Ryan Rollins putting up Ajax numbers. It is what it is. He out there putting up Ajax. That's about right. That's about what Ajax looked like. He was in that slot, in that lineup too. But, man, this is a good win. This is a win. I like this win because this is a game that a lot of people thought the Bucks were going to lose. And the way they started out, the way it looked like, all right, here we go. All right, we tired. We over it. And guys, I'm going to close with this because I'm going to let Chris King go. The rest of this regular season may be a roller coaster, and I don't care. Because let us get to the playoffs healthy with a healthy Giannis and Dame. We'll get Bobby back. We got our role players. We got Kevin Porter Jr. in the building who's going to come do his thing. I don't know where Barely Bird is, and I really don't care at this point because we got other horses that can come in and supplement whatever he was doing before. But we get to the playoffs, and we give ourselves a chance to compete against anybody in that East. We got a shot if we're healthy. If we're healthy and we're dialed in, we got a shot, notwithstanding anything. So I'll say that. Good Bucks win. Way to split it like some cheeks. Let's go, Chris.
I want to jump in before you go, Chris. Shout out to the super chat, Matthew Adlar. We appreciate the super chat. He says GA got to get in that post 90% of the time, and I agree, Matthew. You know, when GA was in the post, especially in the second half, you saw the double teams come and kicked it out. And again, to their credit, guys hit shots. Go ahead, Chris King.
Yeah, how encouraging was it in that fourth quarter to see KPJ and Gary Trent Jr. digging deep on the defensive end? Like, those two guys provide a different dynamic on the perimeter than we've seen in a while. And I enjoy watching those two play alongside each other, whether that be just that second unit that started that fourth quarter and they were able to play good defense and hang around with the Kings there until Giannis came back in, or whether that be if maybe you put KPJ with the starters or whatever. Like, that is very encouraging to see, just the versatility that they bring. And you almost wonder whether KPJ should start to get those minutes that they're kind of experimenting Ryan Rollins with, because of, you get 18 points from him and you get 0 from Ryan Rollins, and you see him facilitating as a guard without Dame. It's almost up in the air about, who you would rather have. And to me, it'd be KPJ. So I really enjoyed what I saw from those two. Giannis, yeah, obviously him just taking control of this game in that third quarter was something we needed. I felt like the energy was a little low. And then once you start to see Giannis take control of the game, then I think the rest of the team follows. Overall, I'm just glad that they were able to come back and, barely bird with some of those open ones that missed. It's hard to trust him as we get through this kind of struggle of a stretch that he's been on. But I think other guys picked him up. Gary Trent Jr. Hit a lot of big shots down the stretch, and so. Yeah, I'm just happy the Bucks got the win, and let's try to go steal one more.
Yeah, so let's go to what Doc was saying first. So in the second half, he said they started finding shooters, and they played much better defense. He said Brooke kept us in the game in the first half, and obviously the man amongst boys carried us in that third quarter. GA did it the right way, though. He had strong finishes at the basket, good jump shot, nothing forced, found the guys that he needed to find at times. First half, talked about the same stuff, man. Ball didn't move. We didn't get downhill. Scoot was huge. Great plays. He's another ball handler, and he can get downhill as well. He can't wait for us to get whole again. That means bringing Dame back, Bobby back, Sims back. And he mentioned it. I thought this was key. Some of these guys aren't going to play in the postseason. Talking about the guys we got running out there now. And then he talked about what JT alluded to as far as Giannis still not getting any MVP notoriety, which is abysmal in my opinion. And his last point was about Doug Christie is doing a great job. A lot of bad things going on out there in Sacramento, including the De'Aaron Fox thing. And I still think he had a good game plan. I think it's the most important win of the season. I believe that. I think KPJ and Gary Trent Jr., their defense on Levine and DeRozan was absolutely spectacular. Brooke was just strong in the first half. The thing I'll say about AJ Green, I know a lot of people want to bench him and all that stuff, but Gary Trent Jr. couldn't throw it on the Pacific Ocean, and you got to let the guy keep shooting because eventually them joints going to fall. I'm going to go ahead and get some water. Y'all come back to me.
Very good report there from Justin. We working through. I love the energy there. That was good stuff. Get you a medicine ball tea. That's what you need. You need a medicine ball tea.
Justin, go ahead and drape the towel over your head, man. If you need to recover for a little bit, man, go ahead and put the towel over the head on the sideline. Until you need to speak, man. You got to get that man some yellow Gatorade.
There you go. Bucks 920 says, take a sick day. Cream City ain't paying you enough. The NYC Demon says, man got to go to his throat guy.
Oh, hey, yo.
Alucard said he sounds like Marge Simpson. Man, y'all are good stuff. Good stuff in the chat. But yeah, no, all this stuff. Listen, I agree with everything that is being said, that's being spewed out here. The defense was much better. And again, the offense was much like that's how that second half. It was a tale of two halves. That's how you have to play. You have to trust one another. Guys have to play well. Guys have to make shots. Like at the end of the day, it is a make or miss league. And I go back to I believe that was in the fourth quarter where you're trying to get over the hump. You were down 14. You get it to like 1 or 2 or whatever. It reminded me, I was watching the St. John's game earlier today, and St. John's get to like 1 and then like proceed to do like the dumbest thing that you could do with the ball. But that wasn't even what the Bucks were doing. Like they got an AJ Green up open shot, miss. You get a Gary Trent Jr. miss, and then Sacramento comes down, and these are both open looks. They weren't like they were contested. And then Sacramento comes back down the floor, and it's Zach LaVine's step back 3 contested, hand in his face, bottom of the net. Like it's a make or miss league, and sometimes you won't hit shots, but you got to keep at it, keep rolling. And again, the second half, the Bucks, the process was much better. And I know I saw I don't see exactly what was happening in chat, but somebody said something about Damian Lillard. I don't know if that was Todd or what, but the Bucks aren't better without Damian Lillard. Like let's not do that. But you know, the ball did move, and I thought Giannis did again, you talk about the double teams. Giannis did a good job. This is what I will say about the Dame thing, though, is what I hear from his fans often is, well, he's doubled, or the screens aren't good enough, or this or that, or whatever excuse you want to give me. Doc, with the offense, when are they going to run a double high screen? Well, they ain't run no floppy action. I get, and I hear all that. I understand it. But at the end of the day, on the Giannis screen setting thing, it wasn't a problem with Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton found those screens to be just fine and was able to find Giannis in all types of pick and rolls, and they ran a pick and roll to perfection. So Giannis didn't just start not screening. So he's screened about the same his entire career. 2, double team, triple team, wall, whatever. You got to go get buckets. At the end of the day, you have to be better than whatever the defensive coverage they put against. If you're a superstar. Now, you're right. If you're just a regular guy, if you're a star, you're not really like that no more. It is going to be tough for you to score over double team. It is when they blitz you, you may get in trouble. But superstar, again, Sacramento, they just loaded up every single time. They had 4 in the box. Damn near looked like a box of 1 at times. How they was out there running them. Everybody's looking at Giannis. And that third quarter, he took over and dominated. That is what we're asking you to do, Damian Lillard. Like again, he's having a good year. I don't want to take anything away from him, but there is that extra gear that you got to be able to get to, and you cannot blame a coverage from not letting you get there.
Some interesting comments in the chat too, by the way. Trey, kind of piggyback on that. Bucks 920 says Dame's apathy is the biggest issue. By the way, that might be the first time I've seen apathy in the chat. A very long time, the word apathy. So one time for Bucks 920. He says Dame's apathy is the biggest issue. Play with some top 75 energy and urgency. Fair. Another one. Dame has 0 energy out there on the floor. Bench, whatever. Dude looks checked out. Another one. Todd Merhall. Dame thinks he's a top 75 player, but he is often the 3rd or 4th best guard. Oh, wow. Y'all really ain't feeling Dame. Man, how Dame not playing tonight catching strays in the chat? Yeah. Damn.
Okay. All right.
I was saying to piggyback off of what you said, Trey. But listen, man, you got to.
No. Yeah, no, you have to 100%. You have to find a way to get it done. There's just no question about that. And again, I don't agree with some of the stuff here. Talking about apathy and urgency and talking about him on the bench. I saw somebody saying that the other day, and I saw Damian Lillard standing up during some of this. And then Todd says Dame thinks he's a top 75 player, but he's 3rd or 4th best guard. What are we talking? He doesn't think they named him that. He was a top 75 player. Wasn't he an all-star? Wasn't he an all-star this year? Again, I have my issues and things with Dame at times, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's not a good player. I'm just not gonna do that. I can't do that.
What 3 guards in the East are 3 or 4 guards in the East are better?
You could probably go Donovan Mitchell. I'm just saying from this year, you could probably go Donovan Mitchell. You could probably go based on this. You could probably go Brunson.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is you may that may be
You
arguable.
might be able to say Cade too.
Yeah, you definitely could. You definitely could say Cade. You definitely could say Cade. Could you say Halliburton?
No, I'm not going.
No, you're
I'm
not gonna
not
say
giving him any
Halliburton.
credit.
Okay.
No. He already broke my heart enough with that lucky shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. To me, I just think that this little break for Dame, and I know somebody's probably already said it in the chat, should be rejuvenating for him. Just to step away for a little bit, see those guys operate from him being on the bench. Like I'm hoping that gives him a second gear because he is 34 years old. I mean, he's had his fair share of injury history with the Bucks, and hopefully he's able to really tap back into that, see what Giannis is doing without him, see how Giannis takes control of the game, like you said, Trey, and hopefully we get some of that, to finish out the rest of this regular season and then into the playoffs.
NYC Demon with the super chat. We appreciate it as always. He says, what Giannis did in the third showed me he's pacing himself for the playoffs. No team wants to see us in a 7-game series where GA will be going all out on both ends. He will be 150% in every game. And again, I mean, I don't think there's a question about that. I don't think there's a question about that again, whatever you feel about the Bucks, you don't really want to see them. Like you really don't want, because again, Giannis and Dame locked in. It's gonna be a sight to see. And then I saw some other things people talking about, guys being out. And somebody said, we're celebrating a win over guys being out for the Sacramento Kings. They didn't have Sabonis and who else? They missing Malik Monk. Is Malik Monk and Sabonis? Are they better than Damian Lillard? A 2-on-2 Sabonis Malik Monk versus a 2-on-2 of Damian Lillard and Bobby Portis. Sacramento might not score. Them two might not score. Well, I don't know. They won't play on defense. We won't play on defense on our side. But we will outscore them for sure. So no, I'm not giving you no credit because you were missing a couple guys. When again, the Bucks are a very top-heavy team. You have Giannis and Dame. When Dame's not in the lineup or Giannis is in the lineup, you're losing a lot of your firepower on offense. You're losing your usage rate, all of that stuff. They mean more to their team than Sabonis and Malik Monk. And again, that is just the Chicago Bulls West. That's all the Sacramento Kings are. You got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar, I hear it. The less I like it. You got DeMar DeRozan and you got Zach LaVine. Those are two top guys. You couldn't win. You were up 14. Giannis was sleepwalking in the first half, and he comes back the entire second and dog walks you for the win. So I ask you guys this. This is where I want to go next. I want to ask you guys this. Does this win again? It's against the Sacramento Kings. They were missing a couple guys. Does it mean did what the Bucks did tonight? Did it mean anything at all to you, or is this another regular season game in March as the tournament's going on? As all did this win make you feel anything? If you were to rock with the goosebump, did the win make you feel anything about the Milwaukee Bucks tonight?
I'll say this, right? I don't think anybody we don't give a damn about the Sacramento Kings. We know that's going nowhere. We know that DeMar and Zach LaVine went ahead and took that disappointment, put it in a suitcase, and traveled 3,200 miles with it and brought it and went ahead and let that thing right on out in the city of Sacramento. There's no question about that. I don't care about this one against the Kings as much as I care more about the process. And I saw a team early in this game look shaky. I saw a team early in this game have every reason to kind of mail it in and go, you know what? This really isn't our night. But I saw the best basketball player in the world say, you know what? I got this. Hang on, fellas. Hang on for this ride here, right? You do your part. I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna get mine. Let me show y'all. Let me not. I'm not gonna let us chalk up another what should be easy win. I'm gonna put a stop to that tonight because we've had a ton of losses this year that could have been wins, but for whatever reason we just couldn't clock in. We just couldn't lock in. And I saw him do that, and I saw the team feed off that after he started doing that in the third. So that means something. That's something you want to see, right? Sacramento Kings, nobody gives a damn. That's like getting a meal at Cheesecake Factory, right? I mean, like, you're not going to brag about it's a Cheesecake Factory, but if it's the only thing open, you're going, okay, cool, I got something, right? It's the same thing here. But I think tonight, the fact that we found a way to win, the fact that, Gary Trent Jr. was not great in that first, but he came back. He found a way to get that thing clicking. Giannis found a way to get that clicking. Kevin Porter Jr., the way he showed up tonight. Brook Lopez, the way he showed up and gave us contributions on offense that you typically don't get from him too. Kyle Kuzma going 14-4. Like, okay, I like this. But no, beating the Kings alone, that's not what excites me. I think it's really more about the process and how this thing came together.
I'm with you, JT. I think it's not about who you beat tonight as much as it's about weathering the storm. And what I mean by that is this was a team who at one point won 9 of 10, and then it fell off the rails a little bit. You know, they lost 5 of the last 7, and it could have been worse. This could have been another game where it's like, all right, this is us evening ourselves out, and now we're, right back to where we started. Now we're talking about maybe dropping a seed line and this and that. No, this is a game that you should have won. This is a game that I think the players knew that they needed to win, and they went out and did it. And under whatever circumstances, you can talk about, how when we played the Warriors, it was kind of the same game where you're missing a lot of shots. They didn't take advantage when they had the opportunity. Tonight, it seems like they learned from that Warriors game a little bit to where they brought it all the way back, and then they kept going. They finished it, and that's what they needed to do. And that's why I'm more encouraged about just the game flow. I mean, being able to pull that win out is nice. So that's what I'm encouraged about. Not that it's against the Kings.
I think anytime you come back on a 14-point deficit against a team that's fighting for their playoff berth in the Western Conference, it's a key. But the biggest key for me, as long as the Indiana Pacers are winning and the Detroit Pistons are winning, we got to keep winning as well. So set the tone. And, hey, Doug Christie had a great game plan against Giannis in that first half, and we found a way to overcome it. Every game for the rest of the year is the biggest game of the year to me.
Yeah, and the Bucks, you talk about, overcoming, and you talk about the playoff seedings and standings. The Bucks right now are a game and a half over the Detroit Pistons. They sit 1 game behind the Indiana Pacers after tonight. So I saw somebody talking about the New York Knicks. Knicks are 4-6 in their last 10. I know, I think a lot of people do a lot of twerking for teams that they won't necessarily watch. The Knicks have not been played particularly well, and I get they've been missing Jalen Brunson, but again, Bucks just missing Damian Lillard for the last couple games. They still have Karl Towns. There's no reason they've lost some of the games they've lost. They did win tonight, and I saw somebody else talk about they should have blown out. Everybody talks about you got to blow out everybody, and again, when I look at, I just think how much NBA are you actually watching when you say, as if you need to blow out every team for the entirety of a game? Like, that's not how basketball goes. The Pacers should have blown out the Nets tonight. They won by 5 points, right? The Knicks got to win tonight. But again, the Lakers should have blown out. LeBron was back. They get blown out by the Bulls 146-115. Does that mean the Lakers' the season is over? They can't get past the second round because they lost to the Bulls? No, that's not basketball. That's not basketball. Like, you got down 14 and you won the game by 6. It's a 20-point swing. Like, I don't understand how you're not at least impressed in some ways by that. NYC Demon, another super chat, says, I think Dame will be fine. He will show up in the playoffs. You will see a side from Dame and Giannis. It'll be scary for every team. They were brought together for the playoffs, not the regular season. Again, NYC, I tend to agree. Me and NYC always on the same page because, yeah, I know people called it a failure. We talked about what the grading was, the pairing of Giannis and Dame. I've seen people say that it hasn't been what you thought it was going to be. And it's crazy because when you actually look at it, pick and roll wise, I saw a stat this year. They actually score at scoring rate, like points per possession. They're 7th in pick and rolls together. Again, the question is, why don't they do it more since they're 7th? But I think people expected that was what it's going to be. I think there's this narrative out there that it has not worked because they didn't play together. But we haven't seen we have not seen them play one playoff game together. And I think people just thought, for whatever reason, that they were going to blow through the league and they're going to win 70 games in the regular season. And that's not reality either. It's just not, and everybody's not going to be as young and hungry as the Cleveland Cavaliers, where you're going to win 50-some games, and Cleveland's starting to slide some too, or the Celtics or OKC getting another young team. Like these older teams, they're not necessarily doing that. So, I just say out and say, let's just wait. I know Ty wants to trade Dame. I just don't understand. You traded for Damian. You traded Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. You got Giannis, who's won a championship. Why are you so pressed to not see this play out? Why? That's my question. Why are you so against? I'd like to see it. That's all I'm saying. I want to see it because because my thought. I guess my thing is my thoughts are, if I thought what I saw when the trade took place, I had a feeling about what I was going to see these guys do in the playoffs. I haven't seen it yet because they haven't played together. So my thoughts still remain. I've seen pieces of it here and there. I've seen it from Dame some. I see it from Giannis a little bit more often. I feel like I know what I'm going to get from Giannis. Based on what I saw in Indiana, I feel like I may know what I'm going to get from Dame. I want to see it. And if, again, those guys coming down the floor, those guys enter your building, low seed, high seed, whatever, it's going to be a scary sight.
100% agree. By the way, Tish comment is hilarious. Why Tish say Bobby straight off the perks about to average 25 points? That's funny. No, but I agree with you, Trey. That's the thing. The Giannis and Dame show, we still haven't seen that. We just haven't. We've seen flashes of them looking great. We've seen times where they looked a bit discombobulated. But I do think playoff time, I think everybody locks in. Everybody gets focused. These guys are just like these guys are human just like everybody else. They get bored. They got another game on the schedule. I just think the care factor through the regular season is not as high as it is in the playoffs. And I think Giannis, with the time that he's missed, I think Giannis is going to hit another gear in the playoffs. I really do. I think Giannis is going to take this thing to a whole new level. And I think Dame is too. Dame's going to elevate this team. And again, with KPJ, Gary Trent, Bobby back, Kuzma, man, I think we really are about to be cooking in these playoffs. I do. I get people who are like, well, it's going to be hard for us to get up the second round. I'll tell you what, we're going to get there. I'll tell you all that. I'll put the 401k on that. We're going to get there this year. We keep everybody healthy. And, again, all I'm asking this team to do is give us an opportunity. Just put itself in position to get an opportunity to compete. If the Bucks are in position with an opportunity to compete, they're going to do very, very well. And I don't think any of us are going to be surprised by the outcome if everybody's healthy and everybody's there to be able to compete night in and night out in the playoffs, 7-game series.
Yeah, and that's why I'm a little kind of optimistic about what I saw tonight is because, listen, I was worried, at some points, and especially under Doc Rivers' tenure, about not being able to string wins together. And it seems like post-deadline, yes, outside of the little slide we just had, they've done a pretty good job of winning basketball games at a consistent rate, and that's what you need to do in the playoffs. And then I'll also say with Giannis playing this year in the playoffs, I know as a Bucks fan and following Giannis for his whole career that there's nobody that wants to be out there more than he does. And so I know he's going to have a different animal in there to just play and be on the court in those playoffs. And I'm sure it hurts him just as much as it hurts anybody involved with the Bucks that he's not been able to be out there. And I think hopefully it changes this year and it's a different animal.
I'm so excited for the playoffs. Reading the chat, it's like we should just shut the season off. We're going to lose to the Knicks. We need to run from them, run from this guy. Now my voice cracking more because y'all pissed me off talking about Dame this, Dame that. Like, yo, this is crazy. Dame Lillard is a very good basketball player. You got Bobby Portis off his feet. He should come back fresh as, what they call him, JT? Junebug? He should be Junebug fresh out there. We going to be fine. I'm not going to tell y'all how to fan, but I can't watch it doom and gloom every single day. Ty, that's miserable. Hey, Dame sucks. Bucks sucks. I'm sure you were, and you just want to come back at the end of the year and be like, I told y'all they was going to lose.
That's what they're waiting for. And again, that's why it's so funny to me. They're always waiting for to because again, only one team's going to win it. They could lose in the second round. They could lose in the East Conference Final. I knew they didn't have enough. I told you, trade it, blow it up. I guess the same thing again. That's why these people, again, if you were against the Kuzma trade, you have to be looking as sick as I don't know what right now. And it's so funny. I'm sorry. It's so funny how everybody's quiet when Buddy misses games. It's quiet, but he goes 3 for 13, and it's the offense will look so much better. I can't believe we traded off you. Dude, here's the thing: the people against the Kuzma trade have now pivoted. Have you seen this? They have now pivoted from, oh my God, can't believe we traded for Chris against, and we don't have franchise legend Chris Middleton. They have now pivoted to, I can't believe we gave up A.J. Johnson. Oh, the future of A.J. Johnson was going. That's what they pivoted to, because now he done hit a couple layups, a couple reverse layups, and it went between his legs a couple times. And now all of a sudden he's the future point guard, and we've mortgaged the entire future away. Like just enjoy the moment. What did he say? Stop and smell the flowers. Enjoy the moment that you're in. Because, again, you could be the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't understand why everybody – you could be the Charlotte Hornets in my backyard, always searching for players, searching for this. Maybe we can get Cooper Flag. Maybe we cursed. That's all you – we can't get Cooper Flag because we are cursed. And they ain't going to let us get him. He going to go to San Antonio. That's all they talk. I don't want to have them conversations. I'd rather be talking about playoffs and potentially getting past the second round, first round into the Eastern Conference. That's what I want to talk. I don't have time to talk about draft picks and lotteries. That's not appealing to me at this stage. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's go win. Matthew Adler with Super Chat says BP and KPJ together off the bench going to be huge, which leads me into my next kind of segue here and our next topic. Who do you trust off this bench in particular? We talked about it before about the rotations and what's going to happen with Doc Rivers. But what guy, is there a guy, and I'll give you a particular guy who again, I don't think this is necessarily, let's just go. We can do role players in general. But the guy I would say I trust the most is probably, even more than a Bobby Portis coming back, I think Kevin Portis is going to be good too. But I just feel like right now, if you told me, hey, it's going to be a clutch situation, there's going to be a kick out. I don't know how much time was left on the play where Giannis got the ball. I can't remember who blocked it. Giannis got it back and kicked it to Gary Trent in the corner. I think there was like a minute some left. I don't remember what the score was.
Up 2.
And we were up 2?
Yeah.
And Gary Trent hits a huge 3 in the corner. Like, my point is, I'm at the point where I don't care what's going on the floor. At the end of it, if that situation presented itself, now I guess I would say I'd rather have Dame shoot it. But if we're talking about role players, anybody outside of Dame and Giannis, I feel like that's the guy who I'd be like, yeah, I want him taking that shot, because it not only seems like he hits it, but he hits it in clutch moments when they're needed. And again, I'm hoping he doesn't fall the way of Malik Beasley. I'm hoping that don't happen. I'm hoping he's going to be a 16-game player. But Gary Trent Jr. to me is the guy that I trust from guys not your star players. Is there a guy that you trust, or particularly maybe there's a guy that you don't trust? What are your feelings when you're coming down to these role players, these others that are on the court that you're going to have to count on to produce? It's funny, Doc Rivers mentioned, the rotations will be cut. I think he's talking about Rollins, but anyway, and maybe some other guys too. Maybe he's talking about AJ Green. I don't know, but who are these guys that you trust or don't trust coming down the stretches in the playoffs, the role players?
Well, look, not to make this thing overly complicated here, because I kind of want to ask the question of trust to do what, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of a
to play well, to get positive minutes on the floor.
I agree with you. I think Gary Trent and Gary Trent Jr. and Kevin Porter Jr. are two guys that you certainly would trust coming off the bench. Bobby Portis is another one that I think you would trust coming off the bench. Now, Bobby's had his issues with defense in the playoffs, and it's been unplayable over the past few years. So we've seen that happen too. But, again, you got to roll with who you got. I think Jericho Sims in spots as well. I may trust him from a decent defensive perspective in the playoffs with the limited amount of minutes that we've seen, provided that, he comes back okay from injury. Look, what really is kind of sad to me is two players that I thought at the beginning of the year that I would be able to trust in Andre Jackson Jr. and, AJ Green, or, barely bird, whatever they call that man. Yeah, I mean, those are guys where the trust is kind of waning at this point. Like I'm not really sure what you get with those two now. And AJ Green has been a member of the 40-40 club. 40% from the field, 40% 3-point line for 3 straight years now on the Bucks. But I mean, based off what we've seen from him recently, I don't know what happened. I don't know if the legs are zapped or what. If he just ran out of coins or what. I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, I think Gary Trent, Kevin Porter, and Bobby are probably your obvious ones that you certainly would trust, and maybe Sims as well when he gets back.
Yeah, to me, it's KPJ because of I've seen the way he's been able to impact the game in multiple different ways. We saw against the Lakers where they left him open seemingly in that corner, and he goes 5 of 5 from 3 or 5 of 6 or whatever it was. We've seen him take control of games with the basketball in his hands, facilitate, but not only facilitate, score with the ball in his hands, isolation, transition, whatever it may be. And we've also seen him impact the defensive side of the ball. So I think you get the whole package there with KPJ. And so I think that's why I would trust him the most out of the role players, because you're not just relying on one thing, which would be a catch and shoot type of guy. I think you get more out of him than some of the other role players. And it's certainly exciting for the future with him as well. I'd also say I agree, JT. I think Jericho Sims is going to be important once he comes back, because Bobby is only going to have so much time to gel with these new guys on the court in NBA games. So I think you're going to need some of that youth, some of that athleticism to where, hey, if Giannis isn't grabbing rebounds at a high level, if Kuz doesn't have a 14-rebound game, then those rebounds are cleaned up somewhere, and I think Sims steps into that role.
I think that the way we go to the finals, Eastern Conference or NBA Finals, is by the 3 juniors on this team. Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., and Bobby Portis Jr. Out of those 3, I'd have to lean towards Gary Trent Jr. because kind of the same points Chris was making on KPJ. He's good on defense and good on offense. I have not lost faith in AJ Green. The reason why I say I haven't is because it's like his shot hasn't changed. They're just, for whatever reason, not going in. So that lets me believe the law averages will play out at some point, and those in and outs will start being ends. I hope they will. But the biggest thing we're going to have to look at in this playoff is Doc and the coaching staff. Can they make the right, push the right buttons with that bench? Because I'm so tired of hearing lack of energy. We're not getting downhill. We're not all that stuff. Where you look at that coaching staff, they got to be the ones that lead that.
You're not wrong. Doc Rivers is going to be a huge. I mean, the story on Doc Rivers, and however this team plays out, whatever it plays out with, it's going to be it's going to be huge. Just thinking about what happens with him and the moves that he makes, the adjustments that he makes, what this offense looks like, and rotation wise, it's going to be. I saw people on Twitter calling him the Doc Roach. So bad. NYC Demon with the super chat says, people said Kyrie and Luka wasn't working. They got to the finals. People said JT and JB, Jason and Jaylen Brown, hated each other and one should be traded. They won a chip. Just shut up and watch great players be great. At NYC, excellent as always with the commentary. And again, on AJ Green, you talk about trusting him and whatnot. Go ahead.
Sorry. One last thing. I was trying to get it out. The thing that worries me about AJ Green is the defensive end with the fouls, and that's the only thing I would say I'm really questioning with him. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and I was just saying that AJ Green, you're right. The shot looks the same, but it to me it looks like a confidence thing. And when you lose the confidence, when you lose that, it's just stuff that they just don't hit. The way that you want them to hit. But you know where it's always hitting at? Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. You absolutely know it. You better get down to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out there at Lakeview Boulevard, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What was tonight? Was tonight NBA TV, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. What they had tonight?
$3 bottles and pints.
Yes, sir. $3 bottles and pints. They're going to have it also Monday night because I think that's an NBA TV game as well. Televised Milwaukee Bucks game, $3 bottles and pints before you go down to Curls Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Wednesday, Thursday, bingo trivia. Bingo trivia Wednesday, Thursday. And if you do well on that, what are they going to give you?
$3 tickets.
Yeah, where they at?
Section 102.
Row what?
You know I never get this right. They never get this right. I thought it was like 20. Is it 21? Is it row 21?
Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2.
23.
So go ahead, get out there to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Enjoy yourself, have a good time. Drink them under the table, all that good stuff. Get your designated driver when you go home. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Man, tonight was a good night. I'll just say this before I get to Twitter, and then we get to the game balls. I'll just say that tonight was a good night for the Milwaukee Bucks, and I don't think there's any other way but to think of it as a good night. You had Kuzma, who did exactly what you want out of him. He's not going to put up 25, and he's not doing that. He's going to give you somewhere between 13 and 19 points, something in there. He's going to rebound the ball. I thought he did a great job, especially as you saw Sacramento getting the advantage of the rebound. He seemed to be like, all right, bet I have to take this on because the actual 7-footer out here, not named Giannis, don't want no parts of grabbing no rebounds. But he took on that challenge and did a great job. Brook Lopez, you talk about the first half, excellent job scoring the basketball. I think that's talking about Doc Rivers. Like first half, you have him, and I think they've done this more over the last 4, 5, 6 games. He's been under the basket more, and not just jacking up threes. And when you're under the basket, he's still 7-1. Like, put the ball up, and I think he had 18 first half points, finished with 21. But Brook, I thought, again, did a really good job carrying in the first half. Giannis paced himself. You saw what he did. Rollins was bad, but then you get clutch shots from Gary Trent Jr., and you have Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, again, got in the game, 27 minutes tonight. He has resurrected his career. And so, again, there's a lot of good when you think about this Bucks team on a night where it could have gone bad, down 14. Again, to me, I know some people, want you to be up 20 the entire game and end up winning by 30. I appreciate the nights like tonight where you're in the West Coast, you're in the middle of a trip, you're not in your home, in your bed, you're not seeing your kids, you're not all the things that you would like to do, at home. You're not getting a home cooked meal. You're on the road, you're in Sacramento. Ain't nothing to do in Sacramento. It's a terrible city. But you're out there, doing whatever in Sacramento. And you have to find – these are the nights you got to find a way. And the Bucks found a way tonight, down 14. They end up winning by 6. And they found a way – they found a way in the Giannis minutes in the second half. But outside – that was the thing that most impressed me was the non-Giannis minutes. The Bucks were good.
And for the – when you talk about, the close game thing, these are the same people who basically pushed AG out because he was winning close games. He goes 31-13, but he's giving up so many points to bad teams, and he gets pushed out because of it. It's like, I don't know. You just – at the end of the day, like I always say, this is the NBA. It's going to happen. There's going to be nights like this. There's going to be games where you start slow and you come back and beat a squad that you should have maybe blown out. Whatever. You got the win. That's what matters in the regular season. And even in the playoffs, sometimes there's going to be games like this. If you are the 1 seed and you play an 8 seed or whatever, and it's a sweep, there may be 1 to 2 close games in there just because that's how it goes. But at the end of the day, all that matters is the win, and they got it tonight.
All right, let's go. We'll go to Twitter, see what Twitter has to say. And hopefully, I'll cross my fingers and hope they don't destroy the team even after a win. At Adrian_Shavor says, I'm not worried about the Bucks as long as 34-0 is there. A full 7 games, I'm taking them. Let's see. At MadSkill789 says, my thoughts have always been the same. Bucks have the players to compete for a championship, but they lack coaching. Doc has no clue how to coach. Makes 0 sense to bring Lopez in to close the game when the other team is playing small ball. Valanciunas was out. Okay. Let's see. At Sunk345 says, also, I feel like we have 4 people that can be a third option. It could be Kuz, KPJ, GTJ or Bobby on any given night. The key is to have all of them going at the exact same time. At Bay Galtra says Doc Rivers is a terrible coach. So yeah, people, I guess Doc Rivers is getting the vitriol tonight. At NBA Captain says important win shows that Giannis is a dormant giant, and when he wants, he will destroy. He's just protecting himself for the playoffs. At J Phil in Texas says the W is all that matters, but they got to use Giannis and Brook on the block way more often. Brook allows little guys to guard him because he thinks he's Dirk Nowitzki. The Wisconsin kid says, good win. Giannis took over when he needed to. Nice to see. KPJ is a lifesaver. Brooks' offense was good. Good game by Kuz. A lot to complain about. Glenn Rivers. AJ Green needs his minutes cut down some. Still a couple more here. At Drew It Up says, very good win, especially without Dame. We got to extend Gary Trent Jr. And then at Die Hard says, put AJ Green on the bench 3 to 5 minutes per game max right now. So a lot of ire at Doc Rivers. People talking about AJ Green. But, ultimately, I think people appreciated a win tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's do it. Game balls. Where are you guys going game ball wise?
I'm going to let one of y'all go first, because I know where I'm going. And I think I'm just curious if we're going to be unanimous tonight with the game ball.
All right. Justin, take it away then.
I'm going to go with Brook Lopez. I'm going to go with Brook because I feel like without him in that first half, this story may not even be written in this manner. So I'm going to go with a.k.a. Splash Mountain, a.k.a. Brooklyn back down. Brook is still a good post player, a.k.a. to the dude on Twitter, the reason why he brought him back, because they offensive rebounding the hell out the ball. You need someone to go in there and block out somebody so you ain't getting killed that way.
Okay. Good stuff. Chris?
Yeah, the easy answer is to go with Giannis. And I know one of you guys will go that way. So I'm going to go with the guy who had a really efficient night. Looks like a lead guard at some points in this game. 8 of 10 from the field, 18 points. I don't really do the plus-minus thing, but he had the highest on the team, plus 15. Played good defense, kept us in it, kept us and really allowed us to, I think, propelled us to a lead with just his facilitating and scoring at the end of that third. I'm going to go with Kevin Porter Jr., man, a.k.a. the Greek Freak 2.0, since he had to take that gap year in Greece. But, yeah, KPJ gets my game ball.
I'm going to go with 34. I have to do it. We talk about the explosion that he had in that third quarter, 22 points. And you know what's really also impressive about that, too, is Giannis had 22 points in that third quarter, but he also had 8 rebounds. Right? I mean, like, he was getting it done. Giannis going absolutely crazy tonight. So I'm going to give it to Giannis, a.k.a., call me the Greek Freak, but I wear a cape when I put this team on my back, a.k.a. Moses split the Red Sea. I'm splitting defenders, a.k.a. AKA, I got 3 kids, and y'all know I'm about to have 4 or 5. AKA, I used to sell fake hats and sunglasses, and now I'm just giving buckets. Now I'm giving everybody buckets at work. That's what I'm giving, and it's 100% real, right?
Anything else? You good? All right. Hey, that's a good AKA.
I mean, it's late night. I'm like,
it's late night. Okay. Hey, I like it. Yeah. So wow, we're gonna all go different then. Because I'm gonna go Kyle Kuzma tonight. 14 points, 14 rebounds. I thought the 14 rebounds were as important rebounds. Again, it was only Giannis and him were basically the only guys rebounding basketball tonight. So I thought Kyle Kuzma had a really, really good night. 5 for 10. Has some important plays, key plays. He played well, and I thought he defended well too. Of the guys that defended Zach LaVine and DDR, I thought Kyle Kuzma did the best job out of everybody. So to me, my game ball goes to the one, the only Kyle Kuzma, a.k.a. Spotted Cow, a.k.a. light skin assassin, aka don't hate on my tats, aka we in cruise control. So there we go. 114-108. Let's take a look around the NBA. Bucks win tonight. Pacers win tonight. 108-103 over the Nets. Hawks win tonight. 124-115 over the Warriors. Knicks get a win over the Wizards. Let me see. Let me check one more time. Nope, Chris Middleton didn't play. Nope, he didn't play. And then the Bulls beat the Lakers tonight, 146-115. Anything else you guys want to look at? I mean, I'll take a quick look at our bracket challenge. See where things are. My bracket's been totally busted, so I'm out. I ain't about to sit here and act like I got anything going. Let's see. Is anybody? I know. Oh, John, you're tied for. You're in statistical tie for second here. So you would be in the money if you will. I don't know where everybody else is. It's been rough.
For a little while. I saw Justin climb the leaderboard. He's in 6th now. But
I'm cooked. A&M lost. I'm cooked.
Yeah, two Final Four teams losing.
Justin threatening to make a move here.
I'm cooked. 2 Final Four teams gone.
Yeah, I'm done. You put a fork in.
Are you
fork in my bracket?
You're cooked.
Yeah, St. John's win it all. I'm cooked.
Oh yeah.
Cooked.
Oh, you had St. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead and stick a fork in. Who would I'd have to let me see.
Are both of your teams out?
Nah, I don't think they're both out. I think let me see. I had St. John's. My Final Four was St. John's, Houston. Wait, hold on. Dang, I can't see it. Well, I can't see who it was. I don't know. I had Houston, Duke, St. John's, and Michigan State in my Final Four. So
you know that Badger game was a tough one.
Yeah.
Shout out to what a boy name is Vernon Maxwell for his feelings about the people in Utah.
Yeah, that was a tough one to watch, especially if you're a Wisconsin fan. It's like they fought so hard to try to bring that back, and they had an opportunity at it. You know what I was hearing? I'm curious to get your guys' take on this. Because I heard Kenny the Jet Smith after the game say this. You got 13 seconds left. Do you take that shot before? Are you going down there going for the real quick three, and then making sure you have an opportunity to maybe get another shot at it with a foul? Or is that something you would do with maybe just a 1-point deficit? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't see the game, so I'll let y'all.
I would have wanted him to shoot the 3. Tanya.
Yeah.
Just shoot it. I mean, we had no chance in that game. We should have been there. So, hey, roll the dice. I thought it was a good take. Kid from BYU made an amazing defensive play. They still a bunch of punks. I never seen that much punk Christians in my life.
They're not Christians though, they Mormon. And the thing is, I agree with you, Justin. I was watching this. I was like, where did they get these dudes from? Like, these dudes is damn near 30 out here acting like, I don't know what this was. Like, it was like, they was on some LA Fitness vibes. Like, I don't know what was going on with this BYU team. And then Buddy dunked it at the end. I was like, oh, you playing right now. He really was. I mean, it was just like, I don't know, man.
They're waving at Bucky.
They waving these BYUs. I was like, yo, and then here's the thing, right? I was looking and I just had to ask this question. And I mean, look, I'll be the asshole here, but I was like, yo, since when did BYU get brothers out there? What's going on? Right? Like,
I was thinking that, I mean, everybody can be Mormon for the right NIL check, right? Like, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, I started looking at it, I was like, oh, these brothers ain't from, like, Milwaukee or Detroit or Texas. These brothers is from the continent. You're like, okay, I got you. Like, okay, they went over there and converted them. All right. I got you. I just, what's wild to me about BYU is, and see, this is from Bucks After Dark stuff, so let me just be careful here.
Here we go.
Man, I can't. I really shouldn't bring this up. I really shouldn't bring this up. I'm gonna text it to y'all, and then what y'all said was wild to me. Is but why?
He gonna tease this was wild to me.
Why? Yeah, hang on.
Well, okay. While he's doing that, they do this thing called soaking.
Oh, you did bring it up.
That's what you was gonna say?
Yeah, I was like, they do a little soaking, right?
And soaking's crazy.
So the wild part about the soaking is that one of their friends will shake the bed. So like they have a shaker, they got somebody shaking the bed. I'm looking out here and I'm like, listen.
Yeah, it's crazy. I looked it up.
I'm like, you didn't go within the depths of Africa to sell people on that. Tell them like, hey, we got this whole soaking, like whatever. You didn't do that because I mean, like what you
crazy.
Like, they wilding out there. Even though I'll tell y'all, when I was in it was my second year in Arizona, we had a track meet at BYU regionals. It was in Provo, and out of all the cities from between Austin, Eugene, everywhere, hey, Provo was it. The women was dope. They was like, what's up? They was inviting us to come out and act the fool and everything else. And we was like, yeah, we're not really trying to be up drinking Dr. Pepper like that. It's all good. But, man, it was just one of them things where it was like, I'm talking about they smiling, you seeing all their teeth. I'm like, oh, it's like this out here. And, but, people was like, yeah, they going to try to convert you though. Don't kid yourself. They think you cursed. They going to try to convert you. So, okay. But,
that's interesting. It is a wild phenomenon. Just soaking.
It was getting down.
Anything else before we sign off here? At almost 1:40 in the morning on the East Coast. Anything else you guys want to get at, and then we can call it a night.
Is all hell gonna break loose if we just mention Marquette? Because I think Justin, I feel bad because I feel like Justin and I can sit up here and go back and forth. But my
both teams underperformed this year under their respective head coaches. I think that's probably the common ground here.
Agreed.
Both teams underperformed. Bad year.
Yeah.
And
Shaka's ass.
Bad couple years.
Shaka's ass. Shaka's ass.
Yeah.
Shaka's ass.
Listen,
he's mid. He's mid.
We don't sit up here and act like G-Mag is that much better?
No, we're not. No, we're not.
No, Greg the Egg hasn't been good either.
I told you that's what we call him now, Greg the Egg.
Program is in much better shape than Shaka's going into next year.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, as of now, that's assuming them kids stay. That's assuming them kids. The culture of college basketball right now, by and large, is it's you got a year-to-year program. You never know who's gonna leave. Because the problem is, Greg got a good thing going, but somebody offers that bag. Somebody's advisor finds out about it. You never know.
Then you go get somebody else. You go get somebody with your bag and go get somebody else. Let me ask you one thing.
The problem, though.
That's what happened last year. AJ Store was gone when you brought in Tanya.
And you did. And you
got
that was a positive. That was a net positive.
And you brought in Tanya, and he was like that. But that's the whole problem with the portal. The problem with the portal is you don't have continuity, and you just don't fully know what you're going to get here because you don't have time to build a culture. You don't have time to do this. You're getting 1-year rentals left and right. That's the issue with that, right? Because Tanya, by and large, Tanya was a massive upgrade over AJ Store, right? Having said that, whoever you bring in next year, are they going to be more like Tanya? Are they going to be more like AJ Store? We don't know. That's the issue with the portal, right?
No, that's not. But that's not an issue. That's free agency.
Job. That
is your job today. That's a problem. That's like the NBA, the NFL. You go get your free agents. They may work, they may not. But that's on you to make sure that they work. That's on you.
I understand that, right? But on the same note, your job is to also develop players. How the hell are you supposed to develop people?
It doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't. Your job is to win games. You got to develop.
That's what I'm saying.
Because guess what? If you don't, what Deion say? If you don't win, you can get up out of here. I'm bringing in Louis.
But who can win without developing players? Who can win without developing players?
No, I'm not saying you can develop. Again, the way you do it is the way Coach Calipari is doing it right now, where you have a couple that you got a couple guys, a couple freshmen that you bring in. You bring in a couple guys that from the portal. That's how you win this thing. And I just want to ask you guys about John Calipari. Is he not one of the GOATs of all time? Just because for what?
He is.
No.
He is. 100%
John.
he is.
How is John? Somebody explain to me how John Calipari is one of the GOATs of all time.
If you win a national championship anyway, you're already up in a different tier.
How many natties did he get? Okay.
How many natties Shaka got?
He went to one. I didn't say Shaka was a GOAT though. He went to.
I know he ain't. He ain't close to a GOAT.
With Memphis, right? He went to Matty with Memphis.
Man, Shaka not even on the farm.
Where else is John Calipari? I know he was at UMass for a minute, but okay.
Right now he going into the second weekend with in the SEC.
If anything, I'm calling Rick Pitino a GOAT over John Calipari.
That's fine. Rick Pitino's a GOAT too.
He's a
GOAT too.
That's college basketball players of all time. John Calipari is very good to me, but I ain't put him in GOAT status yet.
Man, look at all the guys he done put in the league too.
I mean, that's great.
That's great. Ain't that the goal, Mr. Develop? Mr. Develop, ain't that the goal, Mr. Develop?
Listen. Let me
developing millionaires.
Hang on. John Calipari put all those players in the league, right?
Yes.
He put all his. He had the best talent in the country consistently year in and year out, right?
Freshman, over and over again. Freshman, yes.
Right. And one and done. He did this for how long?
One and done for a long time.
And what exactly did he do with that?
That's fine. Again, he had one and done freshman. That's fine.
Yeah, this is my point. I can't call you a GOAT if you have the most talent. Yeah, you got one title out of it, but there was a whole lot of massive underachieving under John Calipari too. Calipari had.
There are years where you go to the Final Four and you lose, and that's not a bad season. There are certainly years where you get there, and it's not a bad year.
There are coaches that have had teams far less talented than that Kentucky team that have done more. C.J. Wright.
This would be a different conversation had he not won a national championship. He has won a national championship.
C.J. This is what I'm saying though. C.J. Wright. Mark Few. What's my man's name?
Mark Few doesn't come close to Cal.
Not at all.
Mark Few hadn't made a Final Four, has he?
Mark Few made.
What's that?
How many straight Elite Eights did Mark Few make?
Oh my God! None of that matters if you don't get to the Final Four. Has he been to the Final Four?
Mark Few?
Yeah.
Didn't they win the Natty?
They haven't won. He hasn't won the Natty.
Not win it. I'm sorry. They were in the Natty. They were in the Natty
I don't know. I thought it was the big running thing that Gonzaga always bows out.
Yeah, they get bounced at some point.
It was like well, they've been in the Natty.
He's been to the Final Four twice.
All right, so Mark Few's been to the Final Four twice. How many straight Elite Eights has he been to? Because he's been to 9 straight Sweet 16s. How many straight Elite Eights has he been to?
I have to give me 1 second here. Let's see. He was Elite 8 in 22-23, Elite 8 in 18-19. He was Elite 8 in 24-2015. But I guess you'd also count, he was a Sweet 16 a couple years ago. Well, 2 years last year.
All right, so 9 straight Sweet 16s, and out of those 9 straight Sweet 16s, he went to, was that 6 Elite Eights?
Oh yeah, because I guess he was a runner-up in 2020-21. So so that's
the title game. Okay,
yeah.
So all right, if you're gonna say the difference between winning one and not winning one, I mean, okay, fine, right? So California's got to beat Kentucky because he actually won one. But the practical reality of it is look, Mark Few and John Calipari's resume in Kentucky they seem to be very similar.
John Calipari's been to 6 Final Fours.
Oh, he went to 6. I didn't.
Oh.
Okay, so that was a bad comparison.
96, 2008, 2011, 2012, 14, and 15.
Calipari has proved that he can evolve with the game.
So you know what? I'll tell you what. John Calipari, you're counting his Final Fours that he didn't go to, that he went to with other schools besides Kentucky. Fine.
Yes.
Fine. I'll give you that. I'm saying as far as Mark Few has been at Gonzaga.
He's going to start his career late.
Say what?
He gonna start his career late. Yeah, you count all his Final Fours. Mark
Few, he's Bo Ryan. That's all he is.
Mark Few is who?
Bo Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think he might be a little better than Bo Ryan.
Okay, but I'll say this. Yes, Cal has had some very unimpressive years with great teams, losing to, he lost to Oral Roberts, he lost to St. Peter's, he lost to Oakland. Yes, bad years. But in the totality of things, he's still a great coach. He's still a national championship. winning coach that will be talked about as one of the greats. And I tell you what, if this
Yes.
Arkansas team, which very well looks like they can because they have the dogs to do it, and by the way, they have 2 freshmen contributing at a high level right now in Carter Knox and Richmond II, or whatever his name is, 24 on their team. I saw him hit a big shot today. That's a testament to Coach Cal, because now you got on the other hand, you got Rick Pitino saying we're only recruiting transfer portal guys, and we may only take 1 freshman, whereas Cal is doing both, and they just went and beat that St. John's team that everybody loves. So I think this year it could be even better for him as cementing himself as a GOAT, because he was essentially pushed out of Kentucky, goes and takes that Arkansas job. By the way, they started 0-5 in SEC play.
Mm-hmm.
Was a team that maybe people thought might not even get into the tournament, and now they're in the Sweet 16 headed to the second weekend. So,
you know what? And I'll give you that credit in Cal doing that to the Arkansas team, because he took over the Arkansas because Musselman was there, right?
Yep.
And Musselman goes out to USC.
Mm-hmm.
Musselman empties the cupboard because Arkansas was nice when Musselman was there. He had them boys balling. And I remember when Cal was at that press conference, and he was like, "We don't have a single player on the right. We have like 2 walk-ons or something." Yeah. Like when he first got there. Having said that, the thing about Coach Calipari that I will say is, if you want to put him in the Hall of Very Good, I say great. But I just think there are too many coaches who have just have been a bit more impressive than him since 2000. Like they're just. I mean, I get it. I get what you guys are saying. That y'all want to put him up there as a GOAT. And I mean, okay, but I
mean, who can you really say that about, though? Like it would be Jay Wright, it would be Danny Hurley, and it would maybe be, I don't know, Roy Williams. Yeah.
Coach K.
Coach
K is the GOAT.
Arguably.
So maybe that's one tier ahead of him, maybe, because they've got 2.
Up there, Pitino. I find Rick Pitino to be a bit more impressive than John Calipari, considering the fact that Rick Pitino did all that in Louisville with that talent that was not NBA.
I give him credit for the Iona season too, getting Iona to the tournament.
I forgot about Iona.
And he's also another one that, by the way, took a gap year in Greece like KPJ.
And well, you know, the thing I like about Rick though is Rick is the real slick Rick. Y'all read that story about Rick that I sent y'all when they was in the restaurant?
Yep.
And he paid that woman? Man, the OG slick Rick.
Don't sleep on Dean Smith either.
Well, no, I'm talking about from like 2000 on. Like I'm talking. I mean, Dean.
Well, I know you like to take people's resumes and move them for the timelines, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying from 2000. Can we talk about the HDTV era? I mean,
I'm just saying. I mean, don't hit up John Wooden either. Dustin Wagner says Calipari paid players to pay for him before it was legal. He always had elites with him. When he didn't, when did he ever make a team better? But again, everybody's paying players. It's just a matter of if you got caught. Right. Everybody's paying players.
100% right.
The last thing I wanted to ask you guys is about my man Amir Khan. Have any thoughts about Amir Khan, the manager from Nice?
Okay, the funny part about this whole thing to me is that you've got these broadcasters literally saying like Amir Ora Khan, like he's like some historical figure, like saying that as it's like his full name. It's like it's the dumbest thing ever, but I mean I guess it's a cool story for the kid getting paid. I don't care. Like I think that's dope.
I love it.
You know,
I love it.
They're shoving it down our throats because this tournament They're honestly, you want the honest answer? They are pushing this so hard because this tournament has been very underwhelming in terms of Cinderella stories and upsets and all that stuff. So the next best thing was to go get this manager on a team that, you know, is won one game in the first round and got bounced, and now it's going to be they're going to NC State.
Well, what was cold about it was like they tweeted out Amir Khan was transferring to NC State too.
Yeah.
Right away, like within 2 hours. But I read somewhere that's saying that Amir Khan had like, was it 10 NIL deals? He got like
whatever it is. It's over 6 figures worth of NIL deals.
Buffalo Wild Wings boombox, and he doing his thing. Like Amir Khan. You know what's crazy though? Here's what I do wonder, because I just know this is happening. I know everybody's got NIL deals. Everybody's got, there's going to be revenue sharing. Folks got scholarships. I still wonder if people are still getting stuff under the table. I still wonder 100%. If people are still getting stuff under the table.
I'm sure they are.
And what I mean by that is like, hey, I'm gonna buy your mama a crib. Hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that on top of what we giving you. I'm gonna get your homeboy a job on top of all this other stuff we get. I just know that has to be going on.
Well, you see
100%.
You see it doesn't really directly have to deal with that, but the tampering that goes on is definitely plays a part in that. Like, there's just no guidelines about, having some random guy that's an extension to the staff call one of your close people or call your agent, and then you could get a deal done without even having to leave the school yet or be in the transfer portal yet. That's where that comes at.
The players have advisors, is what they're called. They have like these advisors here. I do know that because I got a couple of friends that are coaches, and they have advisors that kind of act as agents, which is, listen, man, which is why I'm not mad at Shaka Smart for saying I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to play this game at all with y'all. I'm not going to have the player that I've built this relationship with and developed.
Then you lose. You lose.
You
don't want to play the game, you lose.
Out your damn mind. Well, you're gonna lose, but you might lose if you play the game too. That's the thing. It's not a.
It goes back to the seatbelt thing from this morning. Yes, if everybody in the car, everybody's in the car. You have your seatbelt on. Some people may die because you have your seatbelt on. That doesn't mean you shouldn't wear the seatbelt.
No, I understand it doesn't preclude you from that. But on the same note, like for every Calipari, there is a Clemson. For every Calipari, there's a Missouri. Right? For every, you 100% have to agree with that. And my thing is you're right. Just because you don't wear the seatbelt, or like you said, your seatbelt example. But here's the thing: the seatbelt alone ain't gonna preclude you from dying. I'm gonna just tell you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't
preclude you from dying. It's not.
It doesn't.
That's my point. The portals.
But not having one on. Yeah. But not having one on. I'd rather have. I want to give myself a chance. That's all I'm saying. I want to give myself a chance.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but there's other precautions you can take, right? Like depending on where you're sitting in the car, if you got airbags, if you got something up there with safety features, you got sensors. When you veering in that lane, there's a whole lot of different factors that can go in there to keeping you safe.
So the Marquette Golden Eagles do not get killed at the end of the regular season and the NCAA tournament if they have a big. And that's where Shaka failed.
No, but Justin,
you can't have Ben Gold as your starting five and expect to go get these big boys down there that's down there banging. Shaka could have got one. I'm going to tell you why. If Wisconsin can pull it off, if they get that kid from UW Milwaukee, Jermichael Stillwell, he might be your next Tanya next year wherever he goes.
Look, man, I hear you, Justin, but I think there's also an argument that this Marquette team peaked a bit too early and just kind of fell apart as teams games.
They was losing to Dayton in December. They was losing to Dayton in December. They didn't peak early at all.
Saw that they were a bit. No, I mean, look, this Marquette team was what? When were they sixth? Was that January?
Yeah, they were up there.
That's what I'm saying. Like this Marquette team, and then they literally just seemed to fall apart. I don't know if it was just teams started game plan for them. I don't know if teams figured out, like you said, Justin, Ben Gold just ain't it down there or what. I'm not really sure, but
it's literally you needed more scoring. You needed more options, and you're not going to get that from freshmen right away all the time. So if you miss on the freshman, you didn't have anybody else to go to like that has college basketball experience. And that's what you need nowadays because everybody else has that luxury.
And quite honestly, I will say I think the core of Joplin and Cam and Stevie Mitchell were good. I certainly think they would. I just think that you just needed.
It was just those two. Stevie Mitchell, he don't count.
He don't count.
You got what did you get? You got maybe 41, 43 points from two guys last night. That should be enough to win.
Stevie got a 4.0. He's gonna get some love from me. Because you know what, Marquette. The problem with Marquette is that Shaka wants guys to come to play school. That's the real issue.
Again, that's that. Then you're not being realistic about what college athletics is.
Education.
Well, that's not what college athletics is.
But Trey, what does that tell you? What did Matt Minton tell? What Professor Minton tell you?
What did he say? I don't remember.
College sports are a part of education. Come on now.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
They're not really. Not anymore. This is back in the day they were. This is over. The college sports they've been. Tom Merrill's telling you right now. He says, now I disagree with him, but he's talking about going to the MLB model and saying, you know what, he says paying players is why college sports should be eliminated. Now I disagree with that.
They've gotten better.
But what I'm saying is, but he's not far off. When no, this is basically, you are in college too. When especially, yes, if you're playing badminton, if you're in the bowling team, yeah, education comes first. If you're playing high level Division I basketball, you're playing Division I football. Even in some respects, if you're playing women's Division I basketball, in some respects, not if you something, but if you're in South Carolina playing Division I women's basketball, yeah, you are more like an athlete, an employee versus a student, and you're getting paid as such. So I don't have a problem. Again, when you're making $5 million, whatever you're making, and again, that's why I'm glad for Amir Khan too, because again, let him get paid. I have no problem with this model that guys get paid, and they should get paid because this is at the end of the day, this is over $1 billion industry that guys have been paying on the backs of their labor for years and years and years and years and years. And so we're now in this model where guys get paid to do it, and they should. And then when you go back to Marquette, you should be taking advantage of every single one of those, or you will be left behind. And if you want to be left behind, then if you don't want to do it, then go be like Nick Saban and call it quits.
Well, here's what I will say. This is the game changer for Marquette. The revenue sharing model starts next year, where teams can share up to $20 million with their student athletes. At a school like Marquette, if you're a basketball player at Marquette, I guarantee you're going to get more money from the revenue sharing than you would if you were a basketball player at Texas A&M, or or a Georgia, or a Florida, or an Arkansas, right?
Even less excuses.
Say what?
Even less excuses then for Marquette, who doesn't have a football program.
That's what I'm saying. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Because Marquette
buy high school guys still? Is that what they're gonna do?
Right. Yeah. If you're not using them in the portal, you're doing it wrong.
That's what I'm curious. And the other thing about Shaka though is his best player has been a transfer, Tyler Colin. Let's just be honest here. Like his best player has been a transfer since he's been at Marquette. Because where's Tyler come from? U.S. Asheville? Was that right?
No,
George Mason. George Mason.
That's where he came from. Yeah, from GMU. So his best player was a portal guy. So I do wonder if he will go back in it. And again, you ain't got to go crazy. You got to pick up a few things.
Because
you got to pick up a few things.
And to your point, JT, you lost 2 NBA players, and you didn't think, hey, maybe we should try to weather the storm a bit. No, it's not going to be a next man up mentality when you have such a ball dominant point guard in Tyler Cole. You lose that guy. Okay,
we're gonna with a third team All-American or second team All-American.
He was on the team already. That's your issue. He's on the team, so he took a big step up. I wouldn't rely in their player development that much to be like, yeah, let's just move our shooting guard to point guard, have the ball in his hands more, and then let's do nothing around him. Let's add nobody around him. That's where I think they messed up. You got to weather the storm a little bit when you lose. Who's it? Omax? Omax was the other guy on the team last year.
OC. Omax was the year before.
Omax was the year before. Okay. Yeah. So Iguodaro. Yeah. But point still stands. Like you had to grab somebody, I think, with college experience to pair up with those 2 guys, Jop and Cam Jones, and it ended up hurting.
I'll give you that, but I'll close with this. I think Shaka's done a damn good job at Marquette since he's been there, and I would take that argument to anybody else. If Justin wants to have that now, I think Shaka's done a damn good job at Marquette since he's been there because that program was an absolute joke after Wojo left it. I mean, again, I went through this on the radio this morning, but Wojo was there for 7 years. They made the tournament twice, didn't win a single game the entire time he was there. By the way, when Wojo got there, this is a team who had made it to the Sweet 16 3 straight times, so the cover wasn't bare when he got there. Wojo was just completely inept. And by the way, Wojo stunk up the joint so bad in the first 4 years that Marquette said, you know what, we're going to give you an extension and let you try to do this thing for another 3. I mean, you got to be kidding me. The program was an absolute laughingstock, and now people are going to say, "Oh, we got consistent Sweet 16, Elite 8 expectations." Are you insane? Like, do you not know where you have just been? This man Shaka has taken you out of the doldrums, made you relevant again nationally. By the way, he got you your first Big East tournament title since 1997. But Chris King, were you around in 1997?
No.
Right.
-5.
That's why you gonna sit up here and say right, and you gonna sit up here and not acknowledge what this man Shaka has done. Stop playing. Stop playing.
I don't think either one of them are bad coaches. Shaka's did a great job, but we talk about getting it to the next level here. And what Shaka doing ain't gonna take you to that next level. And stop giving that piss poor excuse about 97. Don't nobody give a damn about that. You lost it.
That's my point. That's the last time they won one. Shaka won the championship in 2023.
No, you lost to DJ Burns and DJ Horn.
Yeah.
With 2 NBA players. Neither one of them two.
Wait a minute, but didn't NC State make it to the Final Four?
They did. They had a run that year.
So you lost to a Final Four team. If you're gonna lose to anybody, that's who I'd say is pretty acceptable to lose to, right?
Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Stop losing. All right, let's.
Okay.
All right, let's.
Okay. That's a real rational take, guys. That's a real reasonable take here.
Hey, how many more? I can't even talk. How many more double-digit seeds he gonna lose to?
It's a valid point. He has lost to much lower.
And sometimes getting to that Sweet 16 when you get that 2 seed is not the biggest accomplishment you want to hang your hat on because
Listen, man,
I'm sure Western Kentucky was very daunting that year, and I'm sure Colorado they had Cody Williams and that was it.
You can only win the games in front of you and get and this tournament, as we've all seen, as Clemson and Missouri, anybody can catch that L. All these teams in this tournament are decent. Anybody can catch that L on any given day. And what you got to be able to do is lock in and clock in and get it done. And I don't care who gets in front of you in this tournament. That's 100% what you got to do, right? Like let's not diminish a Sweet 16 appearance because of who they play to get there. That doesn't make sense, right? Because these teams get upset all the time. Don't do that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Are we all good for the moment? Yeah. Let's take it there. Good commentary, good discussion. As it pushes past 2 a.m. on the East Coast over here. Man, this is a good show. Long show, good show, a lot of good stuff. Badgers don't get it done. The Marquette doesn't get it done. But the Milwaukee Bucks, they get it done, 114-108 over the Sacramento Kings, and they look to continue. The season's still going right there, so we'll take it. Good win for the Bucks tonight. Giannis was exceptional as always. The Bucks will keep rolling. They got another one Monday night against another late one Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern against the Phoenix Suns. More Bucks after dark as we keep this thing rolling here. I want to appreciate everybody for joining us tonight, wherever you were. If you watched it here, watched it on Twitter, we really appreciated it. If you liked the commentary, if you liked us talking a little college basketball, if you enjoyed what you saw, now if you enjoyed that third quarter from Giannis, hit that like button for us. We would appreciate it 100%. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff as we carry you into the postseason. Not much left. This thing, we're almost there. As we hasten to a close to the regular season, and we cannot wait to see how this thing turns out for the Milwaukee Bucks. But we'll be here for you every single night in the playoffs, leading up to the playoffs. The best damn post-game show for the Milwaukee Bucks Cream City crossover. Make sure you're always here. Turn your notifications on. Don't miss anything because we have the best commentary and the best people to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. This show, one thing our sponsors tonight, Curls Barber Sports Bar and Grill out in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard. Get out to Pewaukee, get out to Lakeview Boulevard, get out to Curly's Waterfall Sports Bar and Grill. Tell them the Grill sent you, tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Waterfall Sports Bar and Grill, sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. I don't think I have anything else, fellas. I want to appreciate you guys for staying up with us, being here late. I want to appreciate Justin for battling through the elements. Want to appreciate JT. I know it's late for him out there. And Chris, I know you can be doing better things right now too. I know you guys, you know what I'm saying today. So
Chris.
But yeah, we want to appreciate everybody for being here and taking this show to the next level.
That's it. Got the slides on, about to hop in the car around the corner.
No. She's on the road, fellas. She's playing.
Okay, they're on the road.
Okay.
They're on the road. In Rhode Island.
Guys' night.
There
right
you go.
With the guys.
The guys' night. Okay.
There you go.
Chris got the phone cake in there. She probably got to sleep for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah.
2 a.m.
Well, this has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Chuck Crosby III.
Chris King.
Dustin.
If I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels. Courage.